perfect Lurrus combo deck is still out there waiting to be found. Does Oswald Fiddlebender still have legs in a one saga vintage? Okay, welcome back, vintage gamers, to a very rare Monday afternoon stream. It is a US holiday at the moment. I am off of work, so I'm going to try to build up a bunch of vintage videos so that people will have things to watch while I am away traveling the world and playing Magic the Gathering. That being said, there was recently this weekend a QBC volleyball challenge, I think is what we're calling it now, the Dave Kaplan events in New York City. Those are events I can sometimes attend. This time I was not able to, as it was a Halloween party and my 3-year anniversary with Knicks. So did not make it down to New York City this time, but there was a 25-player paper vintage event, and there were some interesting deck lists, honestly. There were some, I mean, it's a paper event, so you're always going to get some amount of interesting deck lists, but if you check out this event, you'll see Dean Harris, classic Dean Harris came in with the 4-color Lutri, all the best spells of all time deck, which is pretty fun. There's a Search for Azcanta here, and there's also a Narset Transcendent. Just a beautiful pile of Magic cards. But further down, I think a more interesting deck list for me, Hank Zahn, who had a really great NYSE with this deck. This is what we would typically call Turbo Volt Key, or Lurrus Volt Key is what it's now called in the data. It can also just be considered a Lurrus PO deck. Obviously, we're now up to 4 POs. At the time, Turbo Volkey never really played 4 POs. It was always playing like 1 or 2 POs. So like they were kind of distinctly different things. And the main feature of Turbo Volkey recently in the past year or so has been Oswald Fiddlebender as a tutorable Time Volkey package. So that's what we're looking at today. This is the kind of deck that I would really like to play at Eternal Weekend. And what does that mean? The kind of Magic that I gravitate towards the most in Vintage is combo, but non-linear combo in my interpretation. And for me, what that means, because everyone's gonna have a different interpretation of linear versus non-linear decks in Vintage or in Magic or in anything. For me, it means that I can play different styles and game plans and assume different roles based on my deck, my opponent's deck, and my cards in hand. For instance, it's very difficult if you're playing Jewel, for you to have any kind of different game plan other than I mulligan to my hand that plays a turn 1 ring or a turn 2 Jewel, and I cast my spells until my opponent runs out of counter magic. Whereas something like the Esper PO decks that I became, somewhat famous for, those decks could play a very controlling role with Swords to Plowshares. You could be spending time tutoring up answers and then winning with combo. You could be doing some kind of Tinker Jam on turn 1 in unfavorable situations. Basically, I'm looking to play a deck that has various paths to victory, but at its core is still doing a powerful combo thing. I think that's a little different than Doomsday, because while Doomsday has a lot of leeway in how you plan out your game with cantrips, all of the paths there are kind of the same. They just are slightly, they have slightly different names, but all the things you're doing are the same. So maybe that's like not achievable, maybe that's unrealistic, but that's how I enjoy Magic, and that's what I would like to be doing to give myself the highest chance of both, one, having fun at the tournament, because in the end, I'm doing this because it's a fun hobby, and two, the kind of deck that I play the best and will give me the highest chance to win. That's what I'm looking for in the format right now, and I currently don't believe there are good non-linear combo decks in the format. Right now, the format seems to be centered around one extremely hard controlling deck, Lurrus, Blue-Black, or Esper, and then 6 or 7 different kinds of linear decks that all do a very powerful game plan, and that's about it. Those kind of decks: Dredge, Initiative, Jewel, Oath, Tinker Breach, though Tinker Breach is maybe has a little bit more leeway. Um, all those decks, while Oath and Initiative and Dredge are very different decks, I view them from how I enjoy playing Magic. I view them very similar. So that's just how I'm feeling right now. We're gonna try to play an updated Hank list here. The only changes we're gonna make, what I want to see is, I want to evaluate Lavinia. I want to evaluate Oswald. I want to evaluate Lorien Revealed, because I've been playing a lot of Ponders and not a lot less Lorien Revealeds. The only change I'm going to make to the list before we play it is I'm going to add an Underground Sea, and I'm going to take out a third Opal. I very much dislike the third Opal. I have too much experience now with just drawing too many double Opal non-Metalcraft hands. So I'm going to change an Opal into a land, which puts us at 12 blue-ish lands, 2 spell lands, and 4 Lorien Reveal, which I still think is on the lower side. I was playing a Lurrus PO deck with 15 lands, and I felt like I was getting Wasteland out of games a lot. So that's something to keep an eye out, is the mana situation here. I like most of what is going on in Hank's list. Obviously, it's very similar to his list from MYSE, just with little bits of changes. So we're going to try that and see how it goes. All right, round 1 of our Vintage League versus Absorbent 3. We've got a cat. Oh my god, my deck is going to be so bad against Absorbent 3, but I mean, I'm never mulliganing this hand, even though I know it's Absorbent 3. Oh, man. All right, we dodged turn 1 Collector Roof, lose the game, so that's good. That's a pretty good draw as well. Bear with me as I adjust to this new Magic Online feature here. Actually, I think this will be very good once we get used to it for YouTube, because look how big this is. This is gonna look great on YouTube. It'll help people figure out what we're doing. But I am currently adjusting. It is a lot. It pops up kind of a lot. I think it pops up too fast. There is a basic island. Let's get a basic island. I played around Force of Vigor. I didn't play around Mindbreak Trap. Yeah, I think I just happened to own that one for whatever reason. I could draw my own Mental Misstep. No, I think I'm just gonna go to their turn and look for, like, I'm really scared of Pyroblast, to be perfectly frank, and so I'm gonna just see if I can find a better window. Okay, this is good enough. Oh, ooh, Surveil Land. I don't know why does it have to have the hover if I can just, like, middle click it for it? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if they end up making it a toggleable. I feel like they have the best intentions in mind, but I'm not currently vibing with it. Collector Roof. Yep. My decks are so bad against Absorbent 3. It's quite impressive. Strip mine. I mean, I can make constructs, so something. All right, dodged Wasteland. Now I have to dodge, like... I had that one covered, I guess. Oh my lord, this is just... Nami always makes fun of me for losing to Absorbent 3, but how can I not? Look at what happens. Okay, I don't. I wish I wish it was more selectable. I don't like how it just automatically does it. But I'm not like the one of the problems here is I'm not even playing swords in my main. I'm playing a single portable hull. I don't like that. That was one of the first things that stuck out to me about this deck list. That's what I'm saying. Like the middle mouse click already exists. And also like the preview display thing exists as well. I had thought about incorporating the preview display thing into my stream somehow. It says that we're on turn 4, but it also says we're in my end step. Okay, things are happening for sure. Oh, they did draw the wasteland. Jesus. All right. There's only another thing about Absorbent 3 is that Absorbent 3 does not play like 4 wastelands. Absorbent 3 plays like a couple wastelands. I do have a dress down in my deck. Not the best combination with Construct Token, but the problem is I don't even have 2 removal spells, right? I have a balance somewhere. Yeah, I have a dress down. I don't currently have triple Moxen though. So I'm not 100% sure we should be going dress down. I don't actually have white source still. I do have a dig through time though. I guess I am just supposed to tutor dress down here. What else are we doing? Balance? Probably not. Kind of interesting. Hopefully, like, maybe he commits to killing the construct, but I definitely don't need to like tutor a tundra. Like I have a dig through time coming, and I have only so many useful things. Like if he deploys all of his creatures and then I end of turn dress down, have a Moxen and win. Oh, that's super good for me. It's like extremely good for me. So pretty sure this is the turn we're supposed to dress down. I have so much mana anyways. I get 2 draw steps for a Mox. 1 card in my opponent's hand. I guess if the last card is Pyroblast, I still have Lurrus. No, I should just dig here. Just dig here. What do I have in this deck? I have a Snapcaster Mage and a Lurrus. Ooh, what is going on? Oh, it's super broken. Whoa, that's weird. Okay, I hate how that looks. I really, really dislike how that looks. Ugh, it's so annoying. Okay. Getting used to the new everything, I guess. Yeah, my opponent is this is what they do. They play different green oof decks. Force, Time Walk Academy, and Portable Hole. Oh, it's a lot of good stuff. Is the answer here actually just like Mox Academy? Probably. I still technically need to deal with both creatures to go like infinite turns. Because the only thing you really do in this deck is infinite turns. Oh yeah, there are certainly upside to doing that. I was just thinking I wanted to make like the most powerful turn possible here, and Sapphire is what does that. All right, I found the balance. They only have one card. So I could play out the Academy and then balance down to just Snapcaster Mage. That's probably fine. I don't have to do that, but this seems like a good as time as any. I end up losing 2 lands, and then I lose Lorien, Oswald, Fetch, and PO, but that's not even that bad. Oh, I can't keep Snapcaster Mage because it doesn't work with Dress Down in play. I guess I can just wait till it goes away. I could just play through this. It's really weird that I don't have any swords in my deck. But all right, let's just do balance. Choose 3 lands. Sack the rest. Choose a card. I can get this Snapcaster back with Lurrus. I probably should have floated white mana there. I definitely should have floated white mana there. Because now I can't buy and play Lurrus this turn. Wow, kind of a brutal little mistake right there. I knew it right when I did it, too. Because if I had played white mana, I'd have white mana floating here. I could go Lurrus, and I could... I guess I just lost my Strip Mine, which was my answer to Caracas. So that might have been a mistake as well. Whoops. All right. Maybe a little rusty here. But I mean, I do have a million cards in hand. I'm going to overwhelm the Caracas with Lurrus and Oswald, so it's not that big a deal. That's fine. Oh, here's the last card. It is a Fear of Missing Out. Discard a card, then draw a card. Interesting. I'm just gonna blank this trigger with a dress down. Draws me a card. I can always pick it back up with Lurrus if I want to. Gotten rid of the oofs, so at some point I can just get Vault Key going. Should be fine from here. Probe. No reason not to just cycle Probe. Guess I could maybe pay blue mana for that one. But I have a Snapcaster in my yard, right? So... White, Lurrus. Snap. PO. I don't know. Playing with PO. PO is just so strong. Wait, what? Okay, weird. All right. We We are still looking for stuff. So I guess we snap PO again. Whoa! Hey! Welcome, aspiring spike raiders. It's been a long time since I had an aspiring spike raid. I'm just not on at the same times. Hope you had a great stream. Welcome. We are playing some vintage Magic the Gathering, and we are playing some Paradox Outcome combo. Turbo Volt Key. We are currently in the process of drawing, well, all of the cards, basically. Hope everyone's having a good start of their week. I will PO for another 8. I gotta make sure I don't draw out here, but I should have a Demonic Tutor at some point. So I have the Time Vault. I need to find the key. Where's the Demonic Tutor? Did I exile it or something? I swear I remember it being in this game. Must be exiled. So how else can I find... Is there no top in this deck? Oh no, here's a top. We do need to win in the number of turns that we have left. Is that a concern here? It's at least mildly a concern. Okay, that's a Manifold Key. All right, so I will draw with my top. And I will play my thing. And I will play my thing. And I will play this. So now I have... Did I not pay a 1? All right, well, now I have infinite turns, and my opponent concedes. So I have 3 power here, 2 power here, 2 power here, and 2 power here with 12 turns. Okay, that's no problem. Not bad. All right, we were able to sneak out of a kind of an interesting looking game there versus Absorbent 3, where they had 2 Collector Roofs in play. This matchup has to get a lot better post board, where we have 3 Swords to Plowshares, a Portable Hole. That's probably it. Just a bunch of removal. My opponent actually played a lot of things that I would want to Force of Negation, but I think that's probably asking for a lot for it to be good. Flusterstorm can go. Like, there are definitely... We had 2 good Spell Pierce Negation targets there. The number one thing we need to be worried about is getting just all of our artifacts destroyed. Yeah, I mean, we are playing against Absorbent 3 aggro, so definitely the case. It's pretty impressive. You know, back when we had all the MTGO data, I could actually see who played leagues. And Absorbent 3 is the king of vintage when it comes to playing vintage. There's no one I know in the entire world who plays more vintage than Absorbent 3, which is very impressive. I kind of hate Lavinia here. Let's try going like this. It's tough to play a deck entirely around Time Vault Key against an opponent who entirely plays Artifact Hate. If everyone's coming from Spike Stream, do you have any tips and tricks to this whole new pop-out UI stuff? I don't know if Vexing Bubble is good, but my opponent does play a lot of, like, Force of Vigor stuff. Thanks for the resub pad. Blue-White Cheons? That's a pretty good example, too. All right. Chalice on 0. Uh-huh. Wait, why does my deck not have a Seal of Cleansing? My deck needs a Seal of Cleansing. The Rock, maybe. Vexing Bobble. Okay, I super can't play Moxen. I see. I'm like, I very commonly hover over cards, so it's very unnerving. My Tolarian Academy looks pretty bad here as well. I think I can get away with getting this key in play. So we don't have a Seal of Cleansing, right? And I didn't bring in a Hurkyl's Recall, but we have 2 Portable Holes. So that's our big answer. I almost wish we had like Fragmentized too, but Seal of Cleansing is a card that I find, oh my lord, how did they cast this? Oh, an Elvish Spirit Guide. Yeah, okay. It's pretty good. I was like, what is this 1 mana Wrenn and 6 doing here? All right. Things are bad. I would say things are squarely bad. Okay. Let's go get an Ancestral Recall. Maybe I should just bring in the Hurkyl's Recall, but these are both one-ofs. I don't know if he plays any Null Rods to go with the Chalices, but... yeah. The number one... There's 2 cards that I really like in Lurrus sideboards. One of them is Seal of Cleansing, and the other is Serenity. I don't think I'd bring in Serenity in this matchup, but I would certainly consider Seal of Cleansing at least. Wrenn and 6 is so good. It means you don't have to ever draw lands. You can just draw all action and cast all your spells. I feel like my Ancestral Recall is getting countered here. Maybe not. Oh, wait. I need a mana to pay for that, don't I? All right. I'm going to definitely go with get a land and then pass the turn and look for maybe an upkeep Ancestral. My opponent is known to play Pyroblasts in large quantities. We're paying for something. Is this a Force of Vigor on my Manifold Key? That would get countered. It's a Boseiju on my Manifold Key. Okay. They're fixing my mana. I guess I did lose a mana from that, so maybe not so much fixing mana. All right, if this is going to crack a fetch here, I will respond by casting Ancestral Recall. I'm okay with overdrawing in this spot. It's fine. I can't actually force anything because of the bauble. If there wasn't a Wrenn and 6 getting them mana every turn, I would feel a lot worse about the current spot. Or sorry, I feel a lot better about the current spot. But as the fact that there is a Wrenn and 6 giving them mana every turn, in fact, giving them Boseiju every turn. Oh, they chose not to do that. Interesting. I would have at least considered Besiegeing every turn. I don't have a needle in my deck, right? I didn't bring the needle in. Maybe I should have. Things are getting pretty rough. Yeah, okay. Tarmogoyf, no problem. We're okay with that. Probably just Swords it. Good use of my mana. Not like I'm worried about an oof right now, so. Another Swords. Okay, I will... oh, I guess I get to play this Soul Ring. It's pretty broken. Oh, wait, that means I can just play Lurrus this turn? That's kind of broken, too. Oh, I guess I can't really play Lurrus and get value from it this turn. Should I play around Lightning Bolt and, like, wait? I think I should. But I really need to get a Lurrus down to attack this Wrenn and 6. I don't want this Wrenn and 6 to ultimate, so maybe I just have to risk it. I have a Swords for another creature, so... the only thing I'm really worried about here is a Lightning Bolt. Can't play anything from my yard. The restricted hate pieces coming to get me. Yeah, looks like it's a bolt then. Oh, it's just another Boseiju? Okay, so they didn't bring back Boseiju because... oh, I wish I had gotten the Tundra first then. They didn't bring back Boseiju because they already had another Boseiju. Kind of surprised they didn't hit the Soul Ring. I assume they buy back Boseiju. They only have 2 cards left. I still have 1 more land. Oh, no, here comes something. Yeah. Yeah. That's boo. I mean, I can hit the Ren, but I need to kill the boo now, too. I need a time walk, it looks like. I need a time walk. Or like a Caracas is pretty good for one turn. I drew the Underground Sea? Oh, I guess I have a Manifold Key. So what if I Manifold Key my Lurrus, and then if they go to Fling, I can just Swords it? I guess I can cast my Lorien Revealed as well. Maybe that makes more sense. I'm actually threatening Volt Key. Lots of choices here. I think we just Swords the Boo. Well, I want to attack and not let the Ren and 6 ultimate, though, right? Man, that's actually a really tough spot. There's a lot of very strong choices here. I almost don't even want to play this Underground Sea, though, because it's my last black source, but maybe I don't need it. I mean, they can double ping Lurrus, too. Maybe I just attack Boo? Swords attack Boo? Swords attack Minsk? I mean, they could just Beseiju me in the upkeep, right? They still have a Beseiju. I can't do that play. Chat, that play is really bad, isn't it? They just Beseiju me at the end of turn and take me off my white source. Then I have to swords anyways. They get a new Boo, and it's really bad. Oh, man. I don't know. All of these plays are kind of bad for me. They won't make that play. They won't make the good play. No respect from chat. No respect from chat. Just win this turn with Paradoxical. I wish that was the case. Oh. That was not the choice I thought was going to happen here, but I am out of things now, so... I did not board in the Hercules recall for the 2 artifacts in their deck. I don't like that play from the opponent, but I understand why they made it. They got scared. They're going to hit my C now? Or are they going to try to turn off the Tundra? I don't think my opponent considered Swords to Plowshares here. And they are going to get blown out because of it. So they're gonna hold up Beseiju so they can't get Volt Keyed. I still need to. God, what if they have? I guess I have Hardcast Force. I don't think I'm doing anything with Oswald. I think we're just attacking. I was thinking about Endurance. I kind of need to kill this Ren and 6 before things get too bad. And I can PO something that gets Beseju'd. I didn't bring the needle in, but I should have brought the needle in. I definitely should have brought the needle in. I didn't choose to Beseiju anything here. They can start killing all my lands, which is why I'm trying to get rid of the Ren and 6. They have 2 Besejus in their hand currently, and I am out of lands. Who's your daddy? They're going to try to kill my Manifold Key and then exile it. I just don't actually want this to resolve, so... Like, a 2/2 is actually very annoying. Oh, they're going to go for the... oh, they're not going to Beseiju the Soul Ring. Interesting. I thought they might Beseiju the Soul Ring there. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay. I mean, they have double Beseiju. They're just passing. I'm just going to hold this PO. Attack all out Ren. They're super worried about Time Vault. The way they're playing this game is they're playing with utmost respect to Vault Key. I just don't think that's how you should be approaching it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for top, hold priority, activate top, untap top, activate top, and try to maybe bait a Beseiju into a PO here. Oh, we're just doing that. Yeah, they should know we're out of lands. They're just letting this happen. I see. They don't want to Beseiju in my main phase because I can replay the top anyways. It's probably part of it. I'm okay with just casting Lorien Revealed, though. Bobble. Yo. All right, well, this is my turn where I don't have anything. It's not like I drew anything of value here. So they're going to go Besejuing. It's fine. I could spin or something, but... Spobble doesn't really matter, but it does give me an extra mana, and I can loop it with Lurrus, technically, so... And the Ren 6 is dying this turn. Oh! Oh, I have the key coming, right? So it's still fine. Alright, let's go... Get this Manifold Key... Make my Lurrus unblockable. Attack with Lurrus, 'at Ren. I don't know, some kind of US holiday. I don't keep track. And then, I mean, everything is good here. I almost don't feel, I don't really feel the need to do anything. I guess I could have at least activated this, but the problem is activating this into a 2-drop isn't actually good. Okay, so now they're actually going for my lands. I'm surprised they didn't go for the Tolarian Academy, but keeping me off white is probably good. I mean, these cards are all winning. Let's do Time Walk. Portable Hole. They have, what, one Beseiju left now? And we still have Oswald threatening Vault Key. Okay, well, they drew another run in 6. Okay. They still have 2 Beseijus. Okay, I should have a needle in my deck. Probably gonna play a little on the faster side here. But I have a bunch of time walks and stuff. So I'm going to make a bunch of mana, and then I'm going to turn this bauble into a time vault, and threaten a vault key, and then replay it, and then replay it, and then replay it. Oh, I guess I don't have another mana this turn, because I used a mana somewhere. It's fine. I guess it does make my plan a little shit. I have Snap Time Walk, though, so... Oh, no, I had 2 mana. I'm bad. Never mind. My fault. Trying to play a little faster now, because I can't actually afford to go to a game 3 at this point. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, weird game. Don't think I was supposed to win that game. I think with perfect play from my opponent's side of the table, I couldn't win that game. But they had, I would say my opponent maybe misevaluated the power of Volt Key and instead should have focused on destroying my mana space, is what I would say. But yeah, we were able to play through Challenge Flexing Bobble. Lots of cool choices happen in this game for us, so sweet one. All right, this Wednesday afternoon stream has brought us another Absorbent 3 matchup. Looks like opponent has dropped out of their league, started a new league, and when you start a new league, you get rid of the barrier for the queue to pair you versus the same player. So we're back. We're back. All right, so we're playing against red-green, Absorbent 3 deck. Lots of artifact hate. This hand has a force and a demonic, probably just a keep, especially on the play. Balance is going to be one of our best cards in the matchup, killing off Collector Roof, and we definitely want to lead on Island to play around Wasteland. Interesting. That is unfortunate. Mox Ruby start. Do we have a turn 1 Ren 6 here? Yeah, that's the point of the... We're actually at a point in the metagame where main deck balance is definitely worthwhile. I'm going to force this, pitching Flusterstorm. I think it's weaker than Lavinia. There's not enough things to Flusterstorm. I guess, theoretically, if my opponent had Simian Spirit Guide Pyroblast, then my Flusterstorm pitch would be come back to punish me. So maybe I could have pitched Lavinia in that circumstance. It's possible. Here, that's a really good draw, actually. It's an extremely good draw. This is going to allow me to cast Demonic and Ancestral. Ancestral. Target myself. Draw 3 cards. Another Mox and a key. Okay. We're certainly gaming. We've got some more restricted cards. The scariest parts of my opponent's deck are definitely the Planeswalkers. There's usually... Oof, okay. That was a Simian Spirit Guide pitching for a Blood Moon. Okay, I actually am going back to my first play of this game where I forced the Ren and 6 pitching Flusterstorm, and I'm going to go back and say that was incorrect. I'm going to say I should have pitched Lavinia and held open Flusterstorm for Spirit Guide Pyroblast. I gave some respect to it in my head, but I don't think I gave enough respect to it. Well, there's no one card I want to draw. I need to just get, like, a lot of the time my deck is about card quantity over card quality. Cards like Paradoxical Outcome really reward you for having multiple Moxen in play. So that would be the reason. And especially here where my Moxen are representing my colored mana sources because my opponent has Blood Mooned me. But I think your question is perfectly solid. Why would I Demonic for not the card I want? And when the answer is I want multiple cards. I am too far away from Dig Through Time, it looks like. So I guess we will just deploy a... No, that's not what I wanted to deploy. I hit the wrong one. I'm sorry, chat. This whole highlight thing is freaking me out. That was really bad for anyone keeping track at home. I just hit the wrong one. I just mind rotted my opponent at the cost of 2 lands. I got Blood Moon and Minskin but yes. I mean, there were 2 mountains. They weren't doing anything. I'm actually just fueling my Dig Through Time, chat. What is that? That is an Insidious Fungus. That's so good here. Kill my Opal. It's not even that bad, chat. It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. I do wish I could buy Lurrus, I must say. A Lurrus looks pretty good here for if my opponent destroys my Mox Opal. They keep making this card even better, huh? Well, what am I digging for? I mean, maybe we're supposed to dig, but what are we digging for? I mean, a Swords to Plowshares is quite good here. Manavolt, Ruby, Caracas, Lorien, Force, Brainstorm. These are not very good. I'm gonna take Force, Ruby, and then play Soul Guide Cantrip. I certainly made this game pretty difficult for myself. Well, the sack land is a mountain, so definitely not that. Mental misstep on my Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. I'm in a pretty bad spot, all things considered. But see what happens. I didn't have a time vault. I don't think I had a time. It was a mana vault. Different vault. So are they popping my opal is the question. Looks like it. No, they're too scared of the key. I think Absorbent 3 is traumatized by the key. I would snap off, I would snap hit this opal in their spot. Portable hole. Could be a good one later. The key does let me play Lurrus. If I had a key in play, I can untap my opal and filter my mana. So I need to draw either another opal or a white or a blue. This is fine. I can just portable hold that if I need to. I want to hold this force for a collector roof. Collector roof would be the biggest problem here. PO. Yeah. PO sounds great. I'll draw 3 for 1 mana. Didn't draw another land, though. But I have a lot going on now. I think I can take a hit here. I don't even need to play the portable hole. Would rather play a top and spin. Should be very far ahead. I just have a little bit of a mana situation. Vexing Bauble, Snapcaster Mage, Gataxian Probe. None of these are particularly interesting to me right now. I guess in that case, I will just portable hole this Tarmogoyf to buy time. I gotta be aware of like Beseiju on my portable hole, but maybe I should have known a Blood Moon was coming based on turn 1 fetch basic. Something to think about. Delighted Halfling, kind of an annoying one. It's gonna make Ren and 6s and Boos uncounterable. Now we draw Snapcaster Mage. This is just a PO. Draw with top, hold priority. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna pick up the hole because it costs a white mana to use. That's asking for a little too much. Merchant Scroll, Time Vault. Key is in my yard. Merchant Scroll. I don't think there's a repeal in this deck. Still don't have a sapphire or a pearl or another opal. I'm not even sure if this... I guess this mana creep is worth playing. I do kind of need the extra colorless mana still. Let's spin and see if we find anything gas. Oswald? What does Oswald get? With Portable Hole out, Time Vault in hand, I think Oswald gets nothing. Oh, I guess it can't get pearls because it can only go up 1. Oswald actually kind of garbage here. None of these are what I'm looking for. So I guess we'll shuffle away with a Merchant Scroll. We can get another PO. Well, I can't get Lotus with... I definitely don't want to play Vexing Bubble. I can't get a Lotus with an Oswald. It's not really how Oswald works, unfortunately. This bubble was terrible, and this probe is not very good. I have a lot of counter magic, but if it's like a boo here, I can't count. It's a boo? Oh, no. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, this game isn't over. I still have POs and stuff. I could have played a Lavinia at some point in this game to stop my opponent from being able to boo me, but... I mean, I'm drawing a million cards here. I'll see what happens first. I'm gonna flow... Yeah, it's still just blue. Or maybe it's actually... No, it's... I don't want to commit to the color of mana here. I'm going to pick up this portable hole. Because I'm trying to win the game on this turn. Yo, what up? I'm looking for a Black Lotus to replay my Manifold Key. Okay, we're good here. Eventually, PO drawing a million cards is going to get us out of any situation. So. All right, so I'm going to use my off-color mana. Oh, I already have Lurrus. Okay, so I'm going to use this to play Lurrus. And I'm going to use Lurrus to play Key. And then I'm going to use Time Vault. And I'm going to take infinite turns on my opponent and win the game. All right. Got out of that jam. The one fun part about playing against Absorbent 3 is you do get put in a lot of weird positions as the combo player where you need to make some things happen against some odd assortments of restrictions. Negation, Flusterstorm, Pierce. What else did we take out last time? I know we're going to bring in the Needle this time. We made that mistake the first time around. Maybe it was like Probe. Fair enough, fair enough. This is why they're afraid of the Volkey. Yeah, maybe the Bobble on the draw. I am afraid of Vigor, obviously. It's Absorbent 3, but... Whoa. The Ghostly Swords to Plowshares. Alright. I have a cat. Not exactly a strong hand, but an ancestral hand, so... Keep. Wooded Foothills. Pass. Okay. I feel like I need to be able to fetch a basic here. Let's use the top Bobble trick. Even though it's a Mox, or even though it's Metalcraft for my Mox. Ooh, I definitely don't want that. Maybe I do want that. Maybe I do. Snap Ancestral. Oh, let's try it. I could see myself Snap Ancestraling in this game. Snap Swords is still pretty good too. It's another reason I'm pretty big on these PO decks right now is because of Swords and Snap Swords. An offer you can't refuse. I haven't really seen any circumstances where you wanted an offer you can't refuse. Because that card's been out for a pretty long time, and I've never really seen any decks that wanted to play that kind of card. Oof, there it is. Let's start with an Ancestral before we evaluate this one. Maybe I should also get an underground, a Tundra there for Swords. They have Mental Misstep. All right. Not bad. See, maybe I was just supposed to get a Tundra. Damn. I probably should have gotten a Tundra. My mistake. I was like trying to play around Blood Moon and stuff, but... Because now I'm kind of pressed into like Ambush Viper. No, I mean, I played around Blood Moon, chat. I hate Urza Saga so much, man. How do I continue to register this card in my deck? Every time. Every time. I mean, this was... I drew the Force right after. This is the upside of the fetch that I made. So, there is still upside. I feel like we're behind. Inti? Inti's really good here. I think I'm not winning this game. The mental misstep on my Ancestral looks like it was just too much. Because I can't even play any of these magic cards. My mana base doesn't really support beating Blood Moon Oof together. Anything my opponent plays, I probably needed to counter. Fear of missing out. Sure. Like, if I draw a white source, like a white, it actually has to be like a pearl. I can dress down for a turn. I guess now a Moxen lets me get there. We're almost to the point of being able to come out from behind this wall. Saved from the wasteland by the blood moon. So many collector roofs. All right. Gonna have to go for a balance combination now as well. Tundra. Yeah, I really want to have Seal of Cleansing in this deck. That is the first thing I would change. There are lots of decks where Seal of Cleansing is really, really nice. Especially like shops players. Even jewel shops, I don't mind Seal of Cleansing verse. I guess it's not that good against the ring, but... Oh, there was no Boo this time, so that's good. I'm just taking 2 for a little while. Oh, I guess I could have bought a Lurrus here. I don't think buying a Lurrus does anything, but I could have bought a Lurrus here. Because I wasn't planning on going for a dress down. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to come out from behind this. Also, the minute this thing gets Delirium, it just attacks twice, right? So, if I get a Lotus, I can dress down and get a Lurrus. And have a Lurrus, but the Bobble Loop doesn't do anything. Yeah. Alright, well, I have the white mana now. So... This might be the turn we're supposed to dress down. But all I can do is portable hold one of the collector oofs. Like, it's not enough, you know? I'm gonna block and give myself the out. Oh, I guess I can't... Well, I'm never gonna be able to Lurrus here anyways, so... Mana Crypt. Not it. PO? Dig through time. This is using my other blue source. Like, am I supposed to just hit one of the oofs with the portable hole here? Am I supposed to... I gotta be supposed to dig. I'm gonna dig. I don't think this bobble matters. Lotus is my best draw. Time Vault, Pio, Demonic, another Opal. So I guess we use the Opal now as a portable hole on one of the collector oofs, or as a fiddle bender. But I can't actually use my white source again as a fiddle bender, so that doesn't really even do anything. So I guess the answer is Opal and a Pio, because a Pio is the only like card I can cast really. Opal Lotus DT plays a Lurrus and a portable hole. Opal Demonic Balance. Then I still need to draw a white source to get out. I can't PO pick up Dress Down because I have no more blue cards. But having a Lurrus lets me maybe replay a Dress Down. That's probably the most valuable thing we've said so far. I'm kind of into that one. It's the only way to get future Dress Downs, so... these are mountains. These are not tundras. There's a Blood Moon in play. This does prevent... I guess we can just play a Fiddle Bender here, too. Like, the Portable Hole doesn't actually do anything, and I have the Dress Down to replay with the Lurrus, so... Oh, you want me to go Opal Pio. I see what you're saying. I did not consider that because I don't think that's a powerful enough play. The problem right now... I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely considerable. It's definitely a play you could consider. I was thinking more of using the Opal for white mana, but really worried. Yeah, I mean, like, if I get a Lurrus, I can Dress Down every turn for the whole game. So... Can't Oswald, though. Let's just go with... I guess what we could do is we could play Lurrus this turn, or Lotus this turn, and then next turn we could just dress them all down at the end of turn. Oh, but I can get double portable hole. Okay, so watch this. So if I do dress... No, I can't because it's dress down. This is sorcery only. Kind of annoying. Let's play dress down. Give me a card. Obviously, all my POs are live. Swords is so good. Swords is so good. So now I can just do a portable hole now and a swords later. He will kill me next attack. I'm not particularly worried about dying from this spot. I will say that. I can chump with this fiddle bender at any point. We're almost free, but we do need to find like more card advantage. But we are almost free. But we have a dress down every turn, which is card advantage as well. That's a black mana. Well, none of those actually do anything yet, but... Next turn, we can snap a Demonic Tutor. Actually, we might have been able to snap a Demonic Tutor this... No, we can't snap a Demonic Tutor until next turn. But next turn, we can snap a Demonic Tutor instead of Dress Down. So, pretty sure we're just winning from here. This is kind of the... This is kind of how I envisioned this going after going for Demonic Opal for Lotus. Though my opponent at any point can like have a Boseiju for this portable hole, and we're back to the beginning on that. Okay, so this might turn on Delirium. It did. Okay, so now this what attacks the first time, it untaps and reattacks. That's still what, 4 damage? Does that matter? Doesn't do anything else besides that. Okay. That's fine. My Oswald is now actually live, so I can go for like a Volt Key here. I can go for like a Needle as well. Obviously, POs are all winning. It just depends on what's in my opponent's hand. Like, they can still have Boseiju in their hand. But if they had Boseiju, they'd probably just kill the portable hole, right? Strip Mine. That's a mountain. Sag. So I have lots of options now. I have Snap Demonic, Snap Swords. I have Black Lotus. I have Fiddlebender. I mean, they could still have Pyro. So there's a lot of like considerations. I can get another portable hole. I can... There's a lot of things here. Let's go Snap. See if we get Pyroed though. That's what I'm the most worried about from this line. Demonic is a thing we can cast off of red mana. And then there's 4 POs. Those are probably our strongest play. We get 2 mana back from it. We could just go for Time Vault Key, because we could just search for a key and then make this into a Time Vault. I mean, that plays the worst into Boseiju. But if my opponent had a Boseiju, would they have not killed the portable hole? Because I can't Lurrus back the portable hole without dressing down. So it doesn't really make sense for my opponent to have a Boseiju from here. If they had a Pyroblast, would they have used it on Snapcaster Mage? Probably. So at that point, I feel like PO just makes the most sense. This PO, everything plays into Mindbreak Trap. I'll try PO. One, two, three, four, five, six. No, I think there's like a pretty high likelihood this gets countered, and I'd rather not have to pay for the mana vault. I don't think the 3 colors mana matters either, so. Just resolves. Okay, well, then in that case, I'm going to go for a Vault Key. I should have enough mana to do that. Let's see if that's actually the case. I guess I don't have a demonic anymore, so can't actually do that. Don't have double blue. There's a lot of things we could have done. There's a lot of things we could have done. So right now I have 1 blue mana, 1 black mana, or 1 white mana. Depends on if we want to use all of our mana or not. There's a lot of choices. It's not exactly straightforward here. We might just need to like remove something from in play from their side of the table. PO, PO. Or we can do that. Sure. Now we're definitely going to be tapping the mana vault. I mean, my opponent is still pausing. They're not F6'd. I kind of feel like they have something. I just don't know what it could be. Because they've had opportunities to use everything that I can think of. So it's very odd. This is going to do 2 POs for 5 and 6. Oh, I should have played the Mana Crypt. I just forgot about it. You are correct. All right, now we have a Sapphire, though. So now we have 2 blue sources every turn, so we can draw through our entire deck this turn. Just need to make sure the Sapphire gets picked up before we start taking infinite turns here. But yeah, the minute we draw a Time Vault or a key, the game ends. Because we can tutor for the other part of it. All right. This is going to be as many blue mana as I can make. This is 21 down to 12. I'm just going to Needle, Beseiju, and play Vault Key. Is my plan here. Oh, I'm not worried about time at all. We'll have more than enough time to finish this game. Seiju, who endures. And then key. And then turn this vault into a time vault. And take infinite turns. And next turn we'll have an additional white mana. We'll get rid of the fear of missing out, and we're good from there. Just attack. All I gotta do is attack. Woo! Yep. True. So I'm not sure what was in my opponent's hand, but it doesn't look like it was stopping us, so... Oh, they had a Force of Vigor the whole time? Interesting. Was there a reason they couldn't use Force of Vigor into response to the Valky activation last time? Oh, okay. I pitched my mana, my mental misstep here. Do I have anything else? I mean, I can just replay this on the next turn, but I might be able to snap Pio as well. I guess this works too. I have snap Pio as well, so that doesn't even work either. I don't think that was the right timing window to use those spells, but what do I know? Okay. If I was my opponent, I probably would have used. Well, they were both dying to vigor. So I still am okay here because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, actually, I can't snap and replay both of them. No, I can because there's a Lotus, right? So yeah. So I have enough to I can go snap PO just these two, drawing 2 cards, and then play Lotus, and I can replay both of them. So I can still do it. It wasn't really close, no. Though I did not think about Veil of Summer, and I should have probably pitched my Merchant Scroll instead. So I'm pretty sure, yes. Portable Hole on the Collector Roof. My opponent should have vigored my Portable Hole in the upkeep, is my assumption. I think that's the very first thing that should have happened on my last turn, was there should have been a vigor on my Portable Hole. Agreed. All right, on to round 3. 2-0 bracket. Got a cat. Opponent does not have a cat. Is this hand keepable? Is this hand keepable? It's just fake chicken patty with spinach and cheese on a roll. You think this is a keep? Yeah, Magic Online had a weird update. Don't know why, but try it. It all depends on which all-in turn 1 combo deck my opponent is playing. The problem is, if your opponent doesn't reveal Lurrus, it means they're turn 1 killing you. This is a different way of turn 1 killing you, but it is still turn 1 killing you. Thankfully, we do have all these mocks in, though, so we are okay. I also believe we are currently winning this game. My opponent didn't play what was it? My opponent chose to play a Magus of the Moon instead of playing a bird. Oh. Well, maybe we're not winning. Maybe we're not winning. Hold on, hold up. I mean, they're the one with a Mana Crypt in play. They can't really attack. Magus of the Moon, Blood Moon, Broadside Bombardier is their hand. Broadside is not castable, chat. They no-rotted themselves. They have no mana. I'm not too worried about a broadside if it doesn't ever make it into play. That being said, we are kind of out of cards that are castable in this game. So if my opponent just simply draws mana, we will lose. Yeah, but islanding for PO doesn't actually do anything is the problem. Like, I don't have cards that I'm drawing into from there. I mean, it's not unreasonable for my opponent to null rod here. Like, I was playing through their Blood Moon extremely easy. Like, my opponent was already losing without a null rod in play as well. Like, the null rod wasn't, the moon wasn't actually stopping me from making different colors of mana. So I'm not really sure it was a mistake from the opponent. Dress Down is also non-castable. But Mana Crypt is in play, so wanna flip. They still need to draw, that is just a mountain, so they still need to draw one more mountain. I mean, they're attacking. Attacking seems loose here. That is not castable either. I guess if they play a broadside, they can just sack the Mana Crypt and we lose, so. Tails never fails. Got him! He picked tail! They picked tails! They asked me to choose, so I should tails never fails, and we hit it. All right. What do we want versus mono red prison stompy? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Tails never fails. Doesn't matter. I assume like all this stuff. They're playing main deck null rods. I wish this was a steel sabotage, to be perfectly frank. No, I bobble out, fluster out, misstep out, probe out, soul guide lantern out, dress down out, Slovenia out. Bobble maybe. Kind of a large shift here, but what else are you gonna do when we're flipping to decide the game? What do you think about this one, chat? I'm thinking doesn't have a force of will. Doesn't have a force of will. This gets the basic island. This is probably a keep. Not good, but Ancient Tomb Nolrod? Oh, Ancient Tomb Black Lotus. Or City of Traders Black Lotus, I should say. Oh. I see. I believe my opponent has a more powerful hand than I do. I don't think we're winning this game, for anyone keeping track. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Is that Fury? Oh, maybe we are winning this game. That's fun. I think we're winning. Seems good. That was not what I thought was going to happen when that turn started going the way it did. Uh-huh, uh-huh. I guess I could still just lose to a moon here, right? Yeah. Why do I have no Seal of Cleansing, man? This makes me sad. Hmm. So we technically have ways out of this. They're just pretty far between. Yeah. Could this deck play basic planes? Probably not. What do we need exactly? We need to draw Hercules. This is another reason I want Steel Sabotage and not Consign to Memory. That's true. We don't have any fetches in our deck. I was thinking about it for like the actual PO deck though, not me. Like some kind of PO Lurrus deck can probably play planes. We have Pyroblast. So like what we need is a Hercules Recall and then a Mox Opal. We just like don't have time for that. The Pyroglyph is clocking us fast enough. I guess I need to buy Lurrus. Not that it does anything, but mono red. I think mono red is by far the better option for unpowered. The mono white initiative deck, I believe, needs as much fast mana as possible to function at a level that makes it playable in Vintage. The mono red deck is much more of a prison oriented strategy that you can see right here. Sure. Controlling Jeskai, but I don't want to play controlling anything. Not me. That's the whole point. I want to play a combo deck. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna board just for mono red. Are we vexing bobbling on the play in this game? I don't really think that's actually good. Just gonna run this back. I don't want to jam. No. I very specifically don't want to jam. I would like to play a non-linear combo deck. Is what I'm looking for. The deck I want to play is a deck that can have broken combo plays, but also can swap to, tutoring an actual package of different cards that change the game. Where does Oath fall short? Oath is just a linear combo deck. There's no play into Oath. I personally don't feel like Oath has any edges to be gained besides like knowing the mirror better. I mean, I don't think that's the case. I think there have been many combo control decks in Vintage that have not been broken. Yeah, but I don't like Breach. I want to play Esper, I think. I want to play a deck like this. I just don't know if this deck is good. That's the problem. I want to play Magic the way I want to play Magic. I mean, I think that Esper PO and different Lurrus combo decks are close enough. Like, I'm probably going to play one no matter what. I mean, this start can easily be not good. My opponent goes Null Rod, and then a Fury, and I lose the game, right? Like, this start is fine. I don't think this start is amazing or anything. If I had played Strip first, could I have held open white mana? No, because I would have to use my Lotus, right? So I don't have Metalcraft. Like, my opponent can simply play... I don't have a blue card in my hand, so my opponent can simply play Fury, wipe my board, Null Rod, wipe my mana, and I lose the game. Even just Fury is good, because I can't actually replay Lotus, and I don't have any mana. So, like, there's a lot of ways this is not actually good. I mean, it's a good start, don't get me wrong. It has a Black Lotus, it plays a Lurrus, but, like, it's not like this is unbeatable or anything. Okay, that's not bad. They use a Spirit Guide and an Ancient Tomb to play a Magus. We have Lotus Loop, so that's not bad for us at all. We should be able to hold up Hardcast Force and... Oh, all right, never mind. We're just going to win the game instead. Oh, right. There's a Chalice. Right. All right, sure. I guess that means we don't have anything at the moment, but that's okay too. That's okay. We have time. We have to draw. We actually have a lot of one-drop artifacts in our deck in comparison to other versions of this deck, but... Do you think red decks are specifically good against Lurrus decks? No. Vexing Bauble. Sure. Those turn off our force. I feel like they'll cycle it, though. I have a mountain, not a strip mine. I drew a key. That's very good for me. That almost wins the game on the spot. Oh, with Magus on the stack, stripping the tomb? No, I don't really like that too much. So POing not actually good. But I can turn this key into a time vault and then get the time vault on the next turn, or get the key with the Lurrus. Just make them have a null rod. Is there any like optimization here? Can I like activate this in some way? So actually it's kind of unfortunate this Vexing Bubble is in play, because now I can't force a null rod if they draw it off the top. How does that just win, chat? Oh, you have enough mana off the replay? Maybe I have enough mana off the replay. It's possible. Okay, I do have enough mana. I guess I don't even have to untap the tomb. I just had enough mana no matter what. I just had enough mana anyways. It's kind of funny. And I just sacked the mana crypt on the next turn. So I would have done that even if I hadn't untapped the tomb. I still just have enough mana, right? All right, need to untap the crypt. Null Rod was the next card, says my opponent. GG's. I don't know. This is a nice not explanation, but why am I blanking on a word? Showing off Oswald's power here. Okay, here we go. Onward to round 4. I have a cat. I have a negation and a dress down and a saga versus Doomsday. Yeah. I have a turn 1 saga as well. I'll definitely keep that. I mean, we don't know they're on Doomsday, but they also didn't reveal a cat, so we can suspect that negation is going to be pretty good against any non-dredge opponent that doesn't reveal a cat. Even the creature-based aggro decks negation is good against because you can hit their Moxen. But like that's kind of the state of the format is if your opponent reveals a cat, they're likely to be on some kind of blue controlling deck. And if they don't reveal a cat, they're likely to be on some kind of all-in combo deck. And the range of the combo varies between greatly. It varies very greatly. It could be Bizarre. It could be Mono White Initiative, which I kind of see as a combo aggro deck. And it could be Jewel. And the things you need to beat those 3 decks are completely different. But a lot of the time is you really want to have a force in your opener if your opponent doesn't reveal a Lurrus. Unless they're on Dredge, in which case you don't want to have a force in your opener. You just want to have a Wasteland in your opener. So it's like, it's a mess. It's very polarizing. But we're going to get the lead Saga here with a Soul Ring. If my opponent has a misstep, they should misstep this. But we do have a follow-up anyways. And then there's no reason to buy a Lurrus. We're going to try to use our constructs to tempo out our opponent and counter their 1 spell that matters. Definitely are looking for a blue card draw here so that we can hold up negation and have Dress Down as a backup plan. Though Dress Down does not combo very nicely with my construct tokens. I wouldn't say that. I think that's a bit of a oversimplification because it wasn't this polarizing pre-saga restriction. But I don't think I'm allowed to negate a Black Lotus. But my opponent has perfect information here, so they probed me. Well, I mean, Necropotence. Huh. I am considering letting it resolve, but I don't think we can. We're just going to be 1 turn too slow, aren't we? Maybe if I draw a blue card, it'll be fine. Let's try it for science. Like a Doomsday, I would have to counter there, but a Necro, I might not have to. Real card? Necro is by far the worst triple black card in their deck. Two? We drew 2 cards? 3 cards? 4 cards? How many cards did we draw? 4 cards? No, 2 cards. We probed. Okay, I'm pretty glad I did not counter divination here. They didn't even have a land drop. They just had Black Lotus, like a beast. I don't know. I'm confused as what. Whoa, that's a divining witch. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Are we getting spicy with it? Let me look at their last Doomsday list. Hold on. Is there just a witch in this list? I don't mind a witch. Another demonic consultation doesn't hurt. No, there's no witch in that list. Oh, we also have the classic Urza Saga Time Vault Gaming. Oh. Uh, eat a good breakfast and drink a lot of water during the day. Bring your own big water bottle. Find the fountain. A lot of playing a Magic the Gathering paper tournament is keeping yourself hydrated and fed so that you can actually make reasonable choices for 10 hours straight. Yo, GG's mono red opponents. Fun ones. Very close. But yeah, you'll hear Brian Koval say the same things as I do. Um, a lot of winning the last 2 to 3 rounds of a Magic tournament are simply being in better physical condition. All right, this game looks pretty good. I'm not going to make a second construct because it's not going to speed the clock up. And I can hold up negation and go for a win. And then the other thing I would say is pick a deck you're going to enjoy. Magic is a game. Obviously, you're trying to win, and you want to pick a deck that can win, but you also, it's important to be actually having a good time while you're playing, or you're not going to play very well. I've always felt like that's probably an underappreciated aspect of the game that people don't think a lot about, so. I don't really know what my opponent's plan is from this spot. I'm definitely going to make them beat me here, though. I guess I could still lose from this spot. I mean, they use Oracle Consult or something, right? It's probably the most likely way I lose this game. All right. Seems like we made the correct choice in letting the Necropotence resolve, which is probably the most interesting thing that happened in this game. I do feel like they had a force, so it's likely that our choice wouldn't matter that much, but... All right, this kind of deck I've always felt was reasonable against Doomsday. I like Lavinia, Mindbreak Trap. I like Negation. I like Consigned Memory. Portable Hold doesn't usually have targets. I am not a Bauble fan. Soul Guide Lantern is nothing. I'm gonna probably keep Balance in as it's a Shieldred answer and it's just like a combo card where I can just like deploy a whole hand and cast Balance. Dress Down's good. Blue cards are good. Counter spells are good. Bauble is good. Maybe Island is my next worst card. Yeah, maybe Island. Oh, Caracas bounces Shieldred. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Though I guess if my opponent is on a bunch of witches, maybe I should keep a portable hole in. Hmm. I don't really want to. I'm not really feeling that. This is definitely the one matchup where I'd rather have Consign over Steel Sabotage. My opponent is playing Doomsday, which is 3 mana, exile your whole everything except for 5 cards, and they become your deck. And then they draw through those cards and play Thassa's Oracle, winning the game with no cards in library. Their secondary combo is Thassa's Oracle plus Demonic Consultation or Divining Witch, naming a card not in their deck and winning the game. And then sometimes sideboarding, they pivot to large bodies like Shieldred, Murktide Regent, those kind of things. Yeah, I like balance here, kind of, as a way to answer a sideboard pivot into a creature strategy, as well as just being a card that enters the, you play a bunch of Mox in and you get rid of a bunch of their hand. What up, Da Vinci? Whose list is this deck? This deck is it is almost the direct copy of Hank Zahn's Turbo Volt key deck from the QBK paper vintage event in New York City this weekend. Yes, Dress Down is great for them. Agreed. Dress Down has really nice crossover capabilities here against Thassa's Oracle's ETB trigger. This is a slower hand, but it has a force. I like this hand enough to be happy about it. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna play like a bunch of leagues today, though this has been a kind of a slow league. It's been 2.5 hours. We're only on round 4. Well, I'm trying the deck to see how I feel about it. I don't feel like the one saga is that detrimental. I mean, it's definitely worse without 4 sagas, but like the big question is, do I think Oswald is good right now? Do I think that these utility artifacts are good right now? Do I think that Portable Hole is good? Do I think Lavinia is good? I want to really evaluate how good is Lorien revealed in comparison to something like Ponder. There's a lot of things in this deck that I'm still interested in figuring out, so I think this just has to be Lorien revealed this turn. So, but like I said at the beginning of the stream, I thought this deck looked pretty bad, but it's been functioning pretty similar to how it used to function. So we've been crushing null rods and stuff like that, but we haven't been playing against blue null rod decks. So what do you want to do about the mana? I mean, I added a second freaking underground sea. Fetches? Well, then the whole, like, my PO deck played fetches and ponders, right? Not me. Like, if you look at my PO deck, the fourth Aerlingus deck, this is playing 15 lands with more fetches and ponders. That was the assumption that I made when I wanted to try to build this list. Now, is that actually better than playing Lorien Revealed? I don't know the answer. That's why we're doing the test, but I mean, that's probably what we're playing next, is we're going to try to take our learnings from this deck and maybe try to incorporate them into a different version. But I don't know. Like I said, I am currently seeking a non-linear combo deck. Okay, I have 2 forces. I'm going to play an Oswald. Obviously, I don't get to beat like Flusterstorm Dressed Down, Flusterstorm Daze. Spell Pierce and stuff this way, but with 2 forces, seems fine. If I find a 0-drop artifact, then I am 2 turns away from Vault Key as well, so I'm putting some pressure on my opponent. It'd be interesting. I see how this game plays out. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, because Eternal Weekend is coming up really quickly, and I am not enthused with the idea of just having to jam Lurrus deck or Oath or Doomsday. None of these things have been making me happy. Mm, 2019 PO is certainly on the list. I think it's definitely a deck that could win the tournament, but I have consistency issues with that deck that I'm not thrilled about. Another pass after vamping is very interesting. A 0 mana, interesting as well. So I'm thinking we play Mana Vault and top. See if we like any of the cards. Another Force and a Mox. Shit. I like all the cards. Well, that's a problem. Because I wanted to turn this Mana Vault into a Time Vault. But I also would like to have triple Force up. Yeah, there's a very famous Magic player, Nico Bonney, who has always played Angel's Grace as his Doomsday answer. Why? Why do I want a Mox? Because I want to be able to turn my Mox into a Manifold Key on the next turn. I'm trying to put lethal on the stack and make my opponent go for it. Well, Angel's Grace says you can't lose the game. So if your opponent tries to win the game and you can't lose the game, they don't win the game. I'm like, don't know if I'm supposed to just not search, draw a blue card and search. Okay, I'm going to just draw this and just put myself on 0 drops, win the game, plus I have 3 forces. This is tapped out, though. But my opponent only has 5 cards in hand. They used a whole turn to vamp. Can they really combo kill through triple force? Yeah, that's fine. You've got double counterspell. I mean, they could have Oracle, Flusterstorm, Mindbreak Trap. Or they could have Oracle, Flusterstorm, Daze, Mindbreak Trap. But this is what I mean. Like, I by doing this Time Vault play, I'm putting pressure on my opponent to try to win the game, and they can't win the game with the hand that I've concocted, so. Oh, nice hand, though. Like, I had to have triple force. I just happened to have quadruple force. I got the dot dot from my opponent. Fair enough, opponent. I have had this problem with Doomsday recently. Just people got the counter spells. Okay, here we are. 5th round of this Vintage League, going for a little trophy action. We got reprint Dark Ritual across the table. No Lurrus from the other side of the table. Is this a keepable hand? Let's try it. All right, show me your secrets. For free. Is it bizarre? It's Oath of Druids with a force, a negation, a turn 1 Oath Orchard with force backup. Okay. Notably bad for me. So Portable Hole, technically an Oath of Druids answer. And I have a dress down for the first Atraxa. So maybe I just need to merchant for an Ancestral. It probably just has to be an Ancestral. I think getting an Ancestral is better than Top and Prey. I could get a Force, but then I don't have dress down, unfortunately, so it doesn't really help me. This is certainly the hand you're looking to see when you're keeping Oath of Druids. Playing Oath of Druids, I should say. Kind of wish I had like a Daze in my deck. If I could tutor a Daze. Probably not the strongest place. I guess this play kind of sucks because my answer is Portable Hole or Dress Down, and they're both need blue mana. Okay, maybe, yeah, and maybe Ancestral Recall was not the play. Maybe it was Top and Spin. I did not consider the fact that, once again, my Urza Saga does not make blue mana. I hate this card. That makes blue mana, but not in a God-fearing way. I don't, come on, man. Okay, yeah, I think I threw this game. Or not through this game, but did not give myself the highest chance to win. Maybe my opponent won't force the dress down. I kind of agree. So, like, I think my play makes sense if my Urza Saga is an island. But with my Urza Saga being an Urza Saga, I had to probably just play the top and spin. All right, so, like, I can kind of make my opponent not, like, think I have some stuff here. They're talking about a special set of prizes. So Eternal Weekend is a paper Magic tournament. It's one of the only paper Magic tournaments in the world where you have to play with real cards. Moxes, Black Lotus, Ancestral, Time Walk are all part of a set of cards called the Power 9. So an unpowered deck would be a deck that does not include the cards that are in the Power 9. And also, in this specific instance, unpowered also includes Bazaar of Baghdad and Library of Alexandria. All right, so my opponent didn't take or successfully didn't care, so I was able to blank this Oath trigger. They are going to get an Atraxa, but we don't actually care about an Atraxa. So that's not too bad. So this worked out. Oh, and Mistress Workshop. Thank you. Thank you. Forgot about that. So yeah. But online, everyone plays with power because it's not expensive online. You know, a Mox is only a couple tickets on Magic Online, whereas in paper, a Mox is thousands of dollars. All right, so I was able to Survive one turn here. I just got rid of the cards I knew about. Now what? Well, library used to be very strong, and it's $1,000 magic card, so it's more about money than anything. Snapcaster Mage. Now they have hard cast negation. Could have a second force. Hmm. Balance. Balance does not really help me here. I think I'm too. I think it's too bad now. Don't know how I can realistically get through this spot. Maybe a Soul Guide Lantern hitting like a big Gaia's Cradle, Gaia's Blessing trigger could do something. It's just definitely a spot worth playing out, but it's definitely not a good spot. Should have attacked and made them not block. Active player, non-active player. We draw. And then I'm going to cast Ancestral. If they want a hard cast negation on it, I think I'm okay with that. Time Walk is interesting. I unfortunately closed my opponent's hand here, but I know that they have a Citadel, a Negation, and a Force. This was not the Time Vault card we wanted to draw here. Hopefully they mill over a lot of their deck for the second Atraxa here. They milled over a lot of their deck. I don't see a Gaia's Blessing. There's a Time Walk is gone. Is there any reason not to let them Atraxa first? I don't think so. So they're going to get Force Show and Tell, 17 cards. I mean, we're still in a bad spot, but this is not an unwinnable spot. My opponent does have double force, though. I wonder if they have a Gaia's Blessing, or are they playing... I mean, I never played this deck with Gaia's Blessing, this version of the deck. But I've actually been getting kind of impressed by the Gaia's Blessing the past few times I've seen it be used, so... So my opponent took Oath, Ruby, Flask, Beseiju, and Show and Tell. Oath, Flash, Ruby, Beseiju, and they still have Force and Force. They have 12 cards left. I just always found that the Gaia's Blessing was superfluous, just win more card. But there's been a couple instances recently where it has come up and actually been needed, so... 11 cards in my opponent's deck. They have to do 3 Atraxa hits. They can't Time Walk me. They did find a Black Lotus. I guess they can only need to do 1 Atraxa hit if they have 10 permanents plus Citadel. I mean, the nice part about playing Fortraxa and Show and Tell and stuff is you don't need to play any of those bad cards. Um, but Blessing does some serious like Time Walk loops. I think it's better in this deck than Memory's Journey, interestingly enough. They can hardcast Show and Tell. They can hardcast Citadel. They can Show and Tell. They could Beseiju my Urza Saga. They're gonna play Beseiju as their land. Interesting. This game, I'm not writing this game out yet. Obviously, 2 counterspells, or maybe 3 counterspells is a lot of counterspells here, but I'm not ready to say this one's over. This is another part of the struggle of Oath is that they had their turn 1 win thing, but it doesn't actually win. You have to do a bunch of extra work after. I'm kind of interested in my opponent maybe show and telling. They're gonna pass the turn. They could have forced my dress down. I think it's not unreasonable to not force the dress down though. Like it's not actually a card that's going to long-term stop them. And you can save your forces for things that matter. Mental misstep. No, I think Academy makes the most sense. I don't know if they have a Guy's Blessing. We haven't seen one yet. It wasn't in their top 10. Is a Construct good here? Probably. Maybe it's not actually any good. I used some bad mana here, so I can't play Lurrus this turn. So they have to negate this key, right? I guess they don't have to negate this key. Kind of hope they negate the key. They just have too many counterspells, though, right? That resolves. All right, so then we can just go. We can go Snap Ancestral or Snap Time Walk even. I wonder if my opponent has any Atraxas in their hand. Okay, so I'm getting a Force. Pitch Cast Force on Snapcaster? Pitching Flash? That's so good for me. Sure. I'm okay with that. I can always flash back my Snapcaster with Lurrus. Which of these is the next best card? I guess it's going to be Lorien revealed. This is a very weird game. I'll buy this Lurrus. So now the construct doesn't really hurt me because I have 1,000,000 mana now. Don't think attacking helps me. I have Lurrus Dress Down Loop, which is probably game winning, and they use Force Pitch Cast. So interesting. Get rid of those Moxen on the top. All right, what are we doing here? What are we playing? Is it Lorien? Is it Lurrus with Force backup? Lurrus technically can get a dress down here, which is really good. Bad about the construct, but just making this Atraxa not flying and lifelinking. I actually need to be careful not to use too many painful things so I don't die on my next attack. We also have Lurrus Snap Walk. Not sure if that's better than Dress Down. We know the opponent still has a Force of Negation in their hand. I don't know if they have a Force in their hand because I don't think they took Force on their trigger. They took Flash, not Force on their trigger. So the Force of Will was from their opening hand. So they have at least a Negation, an Oath, and a Show and Tell. 2 unknowns. Would you pitch cast here without another Force? Maybe not. Let's go Lurrus. See what happens. Seven mana. Snap Time Walk. So I have 9 mana. Snap Time Walk puts me to 5 mana, and I could force a Force. And I'm not dead on the swing back. Is that better than just dressing down? Probably. I guess I should have done this first. And if they don't negate this, then I just Lorien revealed. Their hand is Oath, Show and Tell, 2 unknowns. Take an extra turn. I wish I could attack with a construct this turn, but I didn't have enough. Oh, I can still spin. Whoops. And next turn I have Dress Down out of my yard. Another Force. Could also attack with Lurrus to gain life. Don't know if that's actually good. I guess I can spin here and still use mana. I could draw extra cards. I kind of try to find a Time Vault, though, if I just present lethal. I assume a PO also presents lethal. How much mana? Should I just draw with top, or should I do top draw triggers? One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's just untap. And draw with top. Because I have a Snapcaster, so I think we win this game. I could pick something up with Lurrus as well. It's not really necessary. Let's just leave it open in case everything goes badly. Let's not even pick this up either. I'm just if everything goes wrong and I've misevaluated my opponent's hand, I want to be able to end of turn dress down the Atraxa. So that's the reason. And I don't think we need the extra 1 mana, the extra 1 PO. That's my reasoning. Now, that might be unfounded. That's possible, but that's just like my gut instinct is that's not necessary. But you're like your thought process is totally correct. Like you're trying to maximize mana and you're trying to maximize draw cards, and I think that's totally fine. It looks like my opponent is out of action though, so it's a-okay. Maybe I should have strip mined them at some point. It's possible. All right. I mean, they could have a Beseiju, but looks like they don't have anything, so. We won this game. That is... Wow. Another thing that has been quite good to me in this league has been Volt Key. Now, my opponent's about to bring in a bunch of null rods, so maybe that won't be the case. But I also agree that my opponent could have played the game better, but I think that's the case of most Magic games. Yeah, opponent played out the Beseiju. That was particularly bad. Agreed. All right, so I'm going to bring in Portable Hole. I'm going to bring in Negation. I'm going to bring in Cage. I'm going to bring in Needle. Oh, I think Snapcaster Mage is nuts. I would never cut a Snapcaster Mage in any deck that plays PO. Outside of that, don't know. But I think Snapcaster Mage is uncuttable in PO. Do you like Lavinia in this matchup? I don't know. Obviously, Containment Priest comes in. The Thoughtseize was in the opponent's graveyard. Yeah, I don't mind Mindbreak Trap either. Don't know. I like Bobble in this matchup. I like Counter Magic in this matchup. Maybe Fiddlebender is not very good in this matchup. I don't think consigning an Oath Trigger is worth a slot. I think Balance is going to be my only option. I guess Balance doesn't actually ever solve an Atraxa, so maybe that doesn't actually fit here. Basic Island is probably not necessary. We do have a Caracas, which is pretty nice. Yeah, but then you have to like play an Oswald out. I'm not actually sure that's good. Consign for Null Rod. I really don't like that. I have Portable Holes and stuff. I don't really like that. I mean, I don't think Strip Mine is very good either. 10 lands is certainly an interesting choice. Let's try this. Cage Hole. 2 POs. And it's quite bad against Show and Tell. Now, I always forget. Dress Down is the one I can put in with Show and Tell. Containment Priest is the one I cannot. Or should not. Does Stifle see Vintage play? No. Stifle is not a very good Magic card. Stifle probably shouldn't even see Legacy play, for what it's worth. And we have another turn 1 Oath hand? Like a boss? All right. Would love to see a Moxen from my side of the table so I can play 2 spells. All right. I'm pretty sure Portable Hole is the correct call here. If They have a force. They have a force. I die. All right. I will take your oath. Damn it. All right. Now what? They have a end of turn vigor on my portable hole. Couldn't beat that. Maybe I need to play 1 swords in my deck. Could use mana. I know I cut mana, but I know I cut mana. All right, so my opponent could have a fillet of fish here, or whatever it's called, into the Flood Maw. So I'm going to play a cage. To be fair, most of the time, Strip Mine and Island are not playing Portable Hole. But here, it's actually playing the 1-of cage, which is quite annoying, so... Or Beseiju, of course. Looks like they have Beseiju. They could have Beseiju into Abrupt Decay. Oh, they have Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay into Beseiju, Abrupt Decay into Abrupt Decay. All of those things are bad for me. They could put the Atraxa on top using the Cage and the Oath of Druids, and then show and tell the Atraxa. Also a line. Nope, they have double Abrupt Decay. Okay, well, without any extra Moxen, I don't think I was ever beating that. I do think it's correct to build Oath nowadays with multiple Abrupt Decays for the Lurrus, Esper Lurrus matchup, so this does vibe to me. Okay, I'm losing. I mean, my opponent's 6-card hand was quite good. Turn 1 Oath with double Abrupt Decay. I'm not going to be able to win from here. They just hit land, Mox, Force, Tinker. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to see this game. I don't see the line here. Ah, my jet. You are late. You are late. Okay. Dredge? I would never play Dredge right now. If you had to play a Bazaar deck, I would say play Dredge, but I would never play Dredge right now. Oh, I mean, if you're a beerist, play Dredge and win for sure. Man, those were that was a brutal game. What happened to Jewel Shops? Nothing has happened to Jewel Shops. Jewel Shops is still Jewel Shops. If you respect it, you win. If you don't respect it, you lose. And sometimes you respect it and you still lose because it's a broken combo deck. And sometimes you don't respect it and you still win because it's a all-in combo deck. All right, got a cap. That's a good hand. I like to keep my good hand. I don't think I'm playing around negation on this Ancestral. This sure looks like a... I mean, I could even brainstorm and Lorien revealed. They did have a negation in their main. I mean, I don't really want to brainstorm any of these cards away, though. How much time a week do I invest into Vintage? Too much time. Too much time. Between 2 streams a week, Patreon post every week, doing data every week. Though data has gotten better with QQE's help. Data has gotten a lot better. Editing videos. Moderating the Discord. I don't know if I have a number for you. but just know it's too much time. Yeah, unfortunately, I do. I do, unfortunately. 5 hours daily? I don't think I do 5 hours daily, but I definitely do 5 hours on some days. But like, I'm not a full-time content creator either. I work a 9 to 5, so I'm pretty sure I'm jamming Sapphire Ancestral here. I'm not sure if it's right, but that's how I feel. Opponent mulled to 5. Ooh. Ooh. I like this. I think Bobble was quite good against my opponent's deck. Though I might have to crack it to negation in this game. I saw some people playing Bobble and Oath, and I was just so like it did not make sense to me. I like Bobble in this PO deck though, because it has just so many ways to make use of it and get rid of it compared to a normal deck. Key. I was kind of hoping for a Mox or a land or something there. I like just cycle, hold up negation. Yeah, but I could cast PO, is what I'm saying. Oh, I guess technically I would have to crack the Bobble. You're right. Fair enough. They're not casting an Oath. Why are we lagging? What is going on, Moto? Moto, what are you doing? I think I'm just going to use the Brainstorm. It's like obviously not max valuing my Brainstorm, but just using my mana efficiently makes more sense to me. Double Force. Okay, I mean, sure looks like it's just crack Bobble time. Just want to jam a PO. I feel like they changed the way. Maybe they vigor the vigor I'll counter. If they abrupt decay a cage in response, I think that's okay. Don't think I'm mad about that. Maybe this is like a greedy line that I don't actually have to take. Could keep holding up Vexing Bobble until I need to, having hard counter negation. I could see that being the case. Oh, they have Flusterstorms. Interesting. I was not expecting that, for what it's worth. I mean, they mulligan and like it just closes the game out, but yeah, we could wait. I think I'm just bored, so I'm jamming. Vexing Bobble, release the Moxen. I guess if they just have like show and tell backup Flusterstorm, we die. Didn't really consider that. I mean, they would have resolved show and tell if they didn't counter my PO, though, right? I guess I can't cast anything from my yard with this Lurrus. I didn't think about that either. God damn it. I didn't play this game very well. They gonna hard cast an Atraxa after I pitched my force. No, I have a cage, so I can't cast anything. Wait, what is this? Oh, hard cast Citadel. I think that's just fine. Like, it's bad if they hit Beseiju, but they can't cast spells off the top because of cage, and I'm gonna start clocking them. So they had Show and Tell Citadel. So that wouldn't have even been good if it resolved, but I have to respect Show and Tell Atraxa. Yeah, I played this game really badly, sadly. That draw's kind of good, though. Yeah, I definitely played this game way too aggressive for no reason. I need to make sure someone make sure I get some water after this league. Oh, the card doesn't do anything, so there's really no reason to counter it. My opponent plays spells off the top of the library, but you can't play spells off the top of the library, so there's not a lot of reason to counter it. Obviously, they can play lands off the top of their library, but not that good. So I'd rather like, just keep until I have good things. The problem is I should have maybe have kept the. I thought like the negation would be easier to cast, but I didn't really think about hard cast Atraxa. So I almost wish I had kept the Force of Will instead. That's my own fault. Abrupt Decay is scary, but they they can only cast it if they draw it. So I think it's letting. I think you're supposed to let the Citadel resolve. I'm pretty convinced that's the case. But I do regret not maybe keeping Force of Will for Hardcast Atraxa. All right, let's see what the card they draw is. But every turn I attack with Lurrus, the Citadel gets worse as well. So there's that as well. Lots of variables for sure. It's interesting that they Flusterstorm PO, but maybe they just felt like they were gonna lose if they didn't Flusterstorm PO. Because they could, I guess they didn't have, because with Cage in play, they didn't actually have a Show and Tell. They only had Show and Tell Citadel, which didn't really work. So I guess it makes sense. Hardcast Atraxa happens a decent amount. I wouldn't say it's like a common occurrence or anything, but. All right, what do you got? Brainstorm. Not a chance at all. 0% chance. Almost done with this game. Well, they had a force. They could have forced back there. Kind of interesting. Had Flusterstorm, though. That is true. Key being unblockable is still really silly. Yeah, I would say I played this game pretty poorly, all things considered. I can just counter this to end the game, so I will. With perfect information, this is acceptable. The deck was pretty cumbersome. Don't know. I mean, I still believe there should be a Lurrus combo deck that is good. There's no reason that there can't be a good Lurrus combo deck. Not a bad one, though. We definitely take it. A little bit of trophy life. Not the most competitive matchups, but even the weird decks we played against were very good against what we were trying to do. So yeah, 5-0. Let's go back and recap things we wanted to test. Bobble looked pretty good. Lavinia never came up, and I boarded it out a lot. I am not sold on this Lavinia at all. I thought the mana base was pretty sus. Something about this whole Lorien Revealed setup doesn't vibe in my head, but it worked enough. Oswald was fantastic. Oswald was quite good all day. Lantern had only one instance of really being interesting, but it was pretty interesting because it could have hit the Gaia's Blessing that came out of Oath. Sideboard was pretty reasonable. I still think this Consign should be a Steel Sabotage. I would like there to be a Seal of Cleansing in the sideboard, and I would like maybe a Swords in the main. Those were the things that really stuck out to me. I loved the first Seal of Cleansing in this deck. Super strong card. Be interested in seeing that. And then I was also at like points where I didn't really have enough removal in the main, but I guess with Dress Down and Balance, maybe it's just enough. We had like multiple instances, because I was playing 2 portable holes in my Lurrus 4th deck, so there's that to consider as well. Yeah, I don't know. Something to think about. Here's a nice little 5-0 with Lurrus Vault Key, courtesy of the very powerful Hank Zong. More vintage content like this on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.